Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News Today starts now.
President Trump gives an update before leaving for the hospital after testing positive for coronavirus. We have the latest this morning.
And the Michigan Supreme Court rules Governor Whitmer has overstepped her bounds in issuing executive orders. What does this mean for the orders already given?
Definitely a bit of a chill to the air outside this morning. Not even cracking 45 yet. It's 7 o'clock. You're taking a look at downtown Detroit. Andrew's in this morning with a look at our very fall forecast. Well, good morning. It's 7 o'clock. I'm Grant Herms.
And I'm Rod Maloney. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. We have a lot going on here, starting with the weather and sunshine today. That great crisp fall afternoon, Andrew.
That's right. We have temperatures today that make it into the 50s. We still have the frost advisory in effect, but I think we stay above freezing across most of southeast Michigan. So that's a big change from last night at 11 o'clock. Fortunately, if there is any frost, not very widespread, but still may pop up in isolated spots, like over in St. Clair County, where you see the darker blues, and only 34 degrees over in Port Huron. Same thing out toward Ann Arbor. They're up now 2 degrees. It wasn't freezing last hour, now up to 34 degrees. 35. 1 degree below where it was just last hour over in Monroe, and the temperatures ticked down a couple of notches over at Metro Airport. So we're still keeping the frost advisory in place. It's good for only the next hour or so. Most areas make it way farther above freezing, I should say, as we get into 8 a.m. and afterward. And in fact, we'll be way above freezing later this afternoon. And it remains dry, partly to mostly cloudy skies. Highs will be in the middle 50s, so we still may need our jackets, but fortunately not as cold as we're starting off for this morning. Now, we have some rain in the forecast before the weekend is over. That and some higher temperatures in your 7-day forecast in minutes.
Well, this morning, President Trump is hospitalized and being closely watched after testing positive for COVID-19. First Lady Melania Trump has also tested positive. She is in isolation inside the White House with mild symptoms.
Now, the White House is not saying much about the president's diagnosis, aside from telling us that there will be no transfer of power to Vice President Mike Pence and that the president is in charge. Alice Barr is in Washington now with the latest.
A snapshot in history, a masked President Trump trying to project business as usual in the midst of the most serious health threat to an American commander-in-chief in decades. Hours after the president announced he and the First Lady tested positive for COVID-19, he boarded Marine One for the short flight to Walter Reed, the nation's premier military hospital, for monitoring. The White House says it's a precaution. The president leaving behind this message.
I think I'm doing very well, but we're going to make sure that things work out.
The White House physician said President Trump was fatigued but in good spirits and was given an antibody cocktail, an experimental drug meant to boost his body's immune response. The doctor says the First Lady has only a mild cough and headache. At 74 and overweight, the president is considered at higher risk for serious complications. Democratic rival Joe Biden tested negative and made the decision to drop all negative campaign ads, sending his prayers to the president and First Lady.
This is not a matter of politics. It's a bracing reminder to all of us that we have to take this virus seriously.
The war for the White House now in limbo as the President of the United States joins the ranks of more than 7 million fellow Americans who've been forced to fight coronavirus. Alice Barr, Local 4.
And right now, it's unclear how and when the president was infected, but at least 6 people who attended the announcement of his Supreme Court nominee last Saturday now have tested positive as well. Now, we have a list of those who have tested positive and negative for the virus.
Well, those who have recently tested positive for coronavirus include former advisor Kellyanne Conway, President Trump's campaign manager Bill Steppen, Republican Senators Mike Lee and Tom Tillis, and Republican National Committee and former chair of the Michigan Republican Party, Ronna McDaniel. Those who've tested negative include Vice President and Second Lady Mike and Karen Pence, Eric Trump and his wife Laura Trump, and Judge Amy Coney Barrett. Joe and Jill Biden have also tested negative for the virus. You can stick with us here on Local 4 and clickondetroit.com for the latest on the president's condition.
Now let's take a look at the state's COVID numbers. Michigan reporting 780 new cases of COVID-19 the past 24 hours, putting that number on a 2-day downward trend. along with more than 7 Michiganders who have died from the virus. Michigan's 7-day moving average for daily cases is 867. That's the highest that we've seen since back on April 30th. Now, our other big story this morning, the Michigan Supreme Court dealing a major blow to Governor Gretchen Whitmer, ruling that she exceeded her powers using executive orders during the pandemic.
In a split decision, the court found the governor did not have the power to extend the state of emergency beyond April 30th. Jason Colthorpe has more on what this all means.
Well, for one, this does not mean that all of the governor's COVID restrictions are out the window. Only certain ones, basically the ones since the end of April, and not all of those even go immediately. But the bigger thing here is, unless the governor wants to appeal, and if she does, until then, she has to start working with the Republican-led legislature to pass any further COVID legislation. Since the end of April, Governor Gretchen Whitmer has been making decisions under the power granted to her by the Emergency Powers of Governor Act of 1945. But the state Supreme Court's 107-page opinion says no more.
They certainly decided the Supreme Court decided the 1945 law is unconstitutional, but it's not simple in terms of its implementation.
Brigadier General Mike McDaniel is the Associate Dean of Cooley Law School, specializing in homeland and national security law. He says until the previous federal judge rolls this decision into a court order, nothing has changed.
It's going to be 21 days after there's a final order from Judge Mahoney that these will have any legal effect at all. So people out there, if you're thinking to yourself, I don't have to wear a mask anymore, or we can crowd into bars, or if you're a restaurant saying I can go back to 100% capacity, that's not so.
Be certain none of us believe that there's no more virus. That's not what this means.
Whenever the specific orders are rolled back, state Republicans like Representative Jason Shepherd say it'll be good for everyone to have a say in how Michigan handles its fight against the coronavirus.
And I think most people in Michigan would have to agree that there should be some process. I don't think that anybody is comfortable with just one person making all unilateral decisions from now until an unidentified time.
As you can imagine, the governor had a very direct response to this court ruling, saying, quote, "The Supreme Court ruling handed down by a narrow majority of Republican justices is deeply disappointing, and I vehemently disagree with the court's interpretation of the Michigan Constitution. Right now, every state and the federal government have some form of declared emergency. With this decision, Michigan will become the sole outlier at a time where the Upper Peninsula is experiencing rates of COVID infection not seen in our state since April." And again, nothing takes effect at least for 21 days, probably a little longer than that, but stay tuned. I'm Jason Colthorpe, Local 4.
At 7:07 this morning, we have an update. A shootout outside a Texas Roadhouse in Madison Heights ends with a suspect dead and an FBI agent wounded.
It happened Friday afternoon near John R. and 12 Mile. Investigators say the agent was shot while he was trying to arrest a suspect wanted on a federal weapons violation. Witnesses say they heard more than a dozen shots fired.
I heard gunshot fire, 20 to 30 shots on each side, and I figured something was going wrong, and then I got done walking, come over towards 12 Mile by Texas Roadhouse, and it's swarming with cops and FBI.
The agent is now in the hospital and in good condition.
This morning, Warren police sharing disturbing details about the murder of a 6-year-old boy and his father's girlfriend. Police say they were found dead Thursday in their home near 9 Mile in DeQuinder. According to police, they were taken into the basement and shot execution style. The father was also found dead inside a burning car in Detroit. Police are looking for the killers and believe more than one person is involved.
Well, a federal judge has ruled counting for the 2020 census must continue to October 31st. The latest ruling comes after the Commerce Secretary announced October 5th as the target date for ending of all counting. The Justice and Commerce Departments have yet to respond to this latest court ruling.
Well, it's a fall Saturday afternoon. It's going to be bright, crisp, beautiful. The only thing missing, football.
Yeah, I was just thinking. You said that earlier, and that sounds great. Andrew, help us out here.
Well, I tell you what, in the football forecast, we at least have professional football, which is tomorrow over at Ford Field. For today, we can enjoy our activities outdoors with some beautiful sunshine and, as Rod and Grant mentioned, some higher temperatures. We'll talk about how high those temperatures go for today, whether any rain is in the forecast over our next 7 days, coming up.